Hello, welcome to the weekly devotions at Trinity Lutheran Church in West Bend. I'm Pastor David Schoob. I'm glad that somehow you found your way here and that we can spend some time together each week here in September. I want to start today by reading from the book of Psalms, the 104th Psalm, beginning at the 14th verse. It says there, "God, you cause the grass to grow for the cattle and plants for people to use, to bring forth food from the earth and wine to gladden the human heart. Oil to make the face shine, and bread to strengthen the human heart. The trees of the Lord are watered abundantly, the cedars of Lebanon that he planted. In them the birds build their nests. The stork has its home in the fir trees. The high mountains are for the wild goats. The rocks are a refuge for the conies. You have made the moon to mark the seasons. The sun knows its time for setting. You make darkness, and it is night. When all the animals of the forest come creeping out, the young lions roar for their prey, seeking their food from God. When the sun rises, they withdraw and lie down in their dens. People go out to their work until their labor, until the evening." Change. This psalm talks about the reality of change. The seasons roll by, night and day constantly move. And here at the beginning of fall, yes, I notice the changes going on around us. The leaves are about to change color, which is beautiful and wonderful. The temperatures go down. It's cooler. I love this time of year. Even the sunset seems somehow different in this time of year. Of course, I also know that right behind this will come winter, which doesn't make me so comfortable and happy, but winter is necessary for the plants to renew themselves and to be born again. Even those things that die in the winter become a part of the constant motion and change of the world. Kids are getting ready to go back to school. Most have gone a grade up now and are a little older. Some are looking forward to it with expectations, others with a certain amount of fear. Change is one of those things that we people have difficulty with. Sometimes people love change. Sometimes people hate change. There are people who always love change. There are people who always hate change. I think part of it is our fear of the passing of things that we know. But what we can't deny is that change is a part of God's vision of life. God builds change into the very structure of reality. I'm facing my own changes as a person. Age sets in. I can't do the things I used to do. But by the same token, there's a beauty in the change if I can only set aside some of my struggles to see it. I've gloried in the change over time of my relationship with Chris and my children. There's a depth, there's a wonder in those kind of changes. I did a renewal of vows recently and realized the wonder and miracle of love can only truly be experienced in its fullness through time, through the changing of relationships, through the deepening. Our society sees love's miracles in light of fireworks and stars that we have in those young days of our marriages, the emotional highs. And that is a part of love, usually prominent, as I said in the beginning. But I see a deeper beauty to love in the passing of the years, the quiet growth and faithfulness that's really the heart of love. I found a piece a while ago that was written by Ernest Havemann and was published in bits and pieces. It contained this paragraph. "You can see them alongside the shuffleboard courts in Florida or on the porches of the old folks' home up north. An old man with snow-white hair, a little hard of hearing, reading the newspaper through a magnifying glass. An old woman in a shapeless dress, her knuckles gnarled by arthritis, wearing sandals to ease her aching arches. They're holding hands. And in a little while they will totter off to take a nap, and then she'll cook supper, not a very good supper, and they'll watch television, each knowing exactly what the other is thinking until it's time for bed. They may even have a good soul-stirring argument just to prove that they still really care. And through the night, they'll snore unabashedly, each resting content because the other is there. They are in love. They have always been in love, although sometimes they would have denied it. And because they have been in love, they have survived everything that life could throw at them, even their own failures. God has built change into the structures of reality, but often we fear change and fail to see the beauty because we're worried about what we may be losing. And so in this month's devotion, I want to invite you to see the wonder of change and the ways that God is at work in the midst of change. And I want to remind you and myself, because I need reminders of it too, that change is necessary for life. And that's why God builds change into the very structures of the world. Plants would never grow as they do without the change of season. The beauty of a butterfly is seen in the change from caterpillar to chrysalis to butterfly. And we need change as well. Anne Lamott wrote in her book, Help, Thanks, Wow, if we stay where we are, where we're stuck, where we're comfortable and safe, we die. We die there. If you want to know only what you already know, you're dying. When nothing new can get in, that's death. When oxygen can't find a way in, you die. But new is scary, and new can be disappointing and confusing. We had this all figured out, and now we don't. The truth is that the resurrection is one of the most powerful messages that God offers us, that through those change may seem frightening at times. It's only in change that there is true life. Let us pray. Dear Lord, your word says that there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. This word shows us that there is time for change. It's natural for every activity to have its allotted time. Lord, help us to be comfortable with the times of change. Amen. Well, may you see the beauty and the changes that are going on around you. And may we all know that in the midst of change, God is at work for life. Have a good week.